Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Kane. Today I'm sharing two single page layouts with single photos. I decided to do them together because the designs are kind of the same. One layout will go into my goddaughter's album and the other layout will go into my son's album. Originally, this kit started out as a Tres Jolie scrapbooking kit, and I added in ephemera pieces that I had in my stash that matched this collection. So here I'm showing you the laser cuts that I removed from the packaging. So I have them all punched out, ready to use, and I showed you the papers that I was going to use. One is this blue one here that you see, and there's one other one that I'm going to use for the background of the layout. And basically, I'll be piecing them together because I'm going to tear the papers and use them together to create two layouts. Another reason why I kind of did them together. Uh, this is the ephemera pack that I'm adding in from my stash, and it was brand new, so nothing's missing out of it as of yet. I just wanted a few more embellishments to use on these two layouts, so I added that in. I also added in a stamp from Tim Holtz, which had a bunny on it, and has a stencil in it also. And pretty much the layouts are complete. I'm just going to piece them together here with you and explain what I picked out and how I'm going to use the parts together to create two layouts. So this one here has lots of little bits and pieces. And first thing I'm going to do is put my background together. So I tore my paper incorrectly at first, and I decided just to make it work. So I used the stamps to add a little bit of distressing ink to the layout. I already stamped the bunny. As you can see, he's already on there. And I used archival black ink to do that in a stamping platform. Sorry. And that one is just a Tim Holtz small one. So I was able to stamp it more than once to make it dark jet black. So here I'm just piecing my layout together, and it kind of gave it a cool design, even though I didn't mean to tear it like that. But I actually kind of like it. I'll probably do it again on another layout. This one here, I'm adding a border strip at the bottom, and I just want like 1/4 of the stripy line to show at the bottom. So I added that at the bottom of the layout. And then these tore pieces here, I'm going to tuck in, and I actually added that one incorrectly. And you'll see I come back and I have to kind of finagle it to get it to be in there correctly because I actually wanted the white core to show. Usually I don't have the white core showing, so I think that's what threw me off, is that I thought I was doing it correctly, but I was actually doing it wrong. Um, and that was just to make it cohesive across the layout so that all of the torn pieces have the white core showing. This flower piece here was a large flower cluster, and I cut it in half since I was only going to use part of it at the top. I didn't want to, waste it. And then this piece here, I'm kind of tucking in and trying to get it in place. And again, I just wanted the striped paper to go across at the flowers so you could see it. So, and in the end, you can't tell, where I pieced it together and where, it actually goes together. It looks like it belongs that way. It's just part of the design now. Usually I do that a lot. If I mess up, I just make it part of my design. And if I can't, then I always have lots more paper. So I'll just pick a different paper. These here are little stamps that are part of the ephemera pack. And one of them says lovely, one of them says always. I was okay with the lovely, but not the always. So I flipped it upside down. So the always is tucked underneath, and you can't really read that it says always. And I'm going to lay that to the side for a minute while I stamp happy or Easter on this little section here. And I have a cute little, what is that? A little saying that I'm going to place above Easter. Sorry, I can't remember what it says. You can see it in the close-up, though. It just goes with the Happy Easter. I think it says it's a good day or something like that on it. Sorry. So I'm just going to add that. And then the flower border that you see at the bottom was actually fussy cut from a paper. And I cut it in half to use it on both of the layouts. So, and these here are little stamps, but they're blank. And so I inked them up a little bit more with broken china. It matches this collection very well. And abandoned coral is the other ink that I used in Distress Oxide. So I'm just adding the little flower border here underneath the bunny, and that's going to be my title, is just a little Happy Easter. And then I will place her photo back on here. I'm not sure if I add it just yet. I know I add white acrylic paint splatters. I might have already did that. I'm not sure. I don't think so, because I think I wait till the very end. I'm going to take the photo back off and add the white paint splatters. I just want to add all the flowers in and make sure they're there so they can get the white paint splatters on them also. But I didn't want to cover the photo and do the white paint splatters, so I actually just take it off, and then it's easily to put back on. So here's the white acrylic paint, and I'm going to splatter all over the entire layout. And it's just kind of little tiny sprinkles. And again, that just kind of blends everything together. Even though the whole collection goes together, everything is meant to be together with this 49 and Market collection. But I just wanted to add a little bit of white paint splatters to add a little more distressing. And I had to add a little bit more water to it. Sometimes you have to add a lot of water to get the acrylic paint just the right consistency so you can make the splatters with it. So that's what I was doing there. Now I'm going to place this one up, let it dry, and I will bring in the other layout of my sun. That was a sketch that kind of roughly I guided this one off of. Unfortunately, I don't remember who it's by. It was part of Follow a Sketch in February with State Goddess here on YouTube. I believe it was day 26, if I remember correctly. But I don't remember who the sketch is by. But I will leave the information for it down below if I can find it. And here I'm just using the stencil in abandoned coral to add a little bit of checkered stenciling that will go just behind the photo. And that was just to add a little bit something to the blue background, because this background is just a plain baby blue color. There's nothing really on it except for just a little bit of mixed media that's pre-made into the paper. So it kind of looks like just a blue sky paper. And then these here are border strips that I'm adding. And I'll add this pink one and a teal, and then one more, one that looks like splatters in different colors. And I love using the 49 and Market borders at the bottom or anywhere on the layout, really. Doesn't have to be at the bottom. But their borders are the only ones that are true 12 by 12. They really seem to have a really good grip on making them the correct, length, even though I only need 11 inches. But I know a lot of other scrapbookers that scrap 12 by 12, and they're always complaining that it's not long enough. So I really like that, they make them the correct length. And again, this one here, I'm going to title with the Happy Easter, and I'll bring in the stamp here in a minute. I'm just placing down these little flowers around the bunny, and I used a couple of different ephemera pieces to make that little section where the bunny is sitting. One was like a library looking card, and then a frame, and another little frame that was a cutout from the cutout sheet. And so here's my little tiny platform. This is the Tim Holtz travel platform. And I'm just using the Happy Easter stamp, pressing it down, make sure it stamps correctly, and it does on the first try. I don't have to redo it. And again, I just used the flower border, and I'm gonna place it down here for a moment, and then I'll pull it back up again because I'm going to add white splatters to all the ephemera pieces. And the reason I didn't leave these photos on the layout, usually you can leave the photo on the layout and just cover it up, but these photos are kind of a different texture. They're a matte finish, and they were printed long ago, so anything that goes on them will stay on them. I can't wipe it off because they're not glossy. They're, like a matte finish. So I didn't want any of the white paint splatters to end up on the photo. So just to be safe, I took it off and just did my white paint splatters, and then I'll come back in and attach the photo and use a little bit of liquid glue to make sure all the ephemera pieces stay in place. Just cleaning up my glass mat here, and now I'm going to finish up the layouts. This one's dry, so I will add the little pieces back on in her photo, and remembered I wanted her photo actually on top, not behind. And then I'll just add a little flower at the bottom, and this other little leaf up here, and this one here. And I'm just adding in little pieces here and there just to finish it and make it look like the other cluster that was pre-printed and I cut out. So it makes it all blend together. And then this piece here is a chipboard from Tres Jolie. And I'll also add a chipboard piece to the other layout at the top. And it was actually one piece. I broke it so that I had a little piece to put on this one. And then this one here, I needed it to be a little bit shorter. So that was why I broke it. And I painted them black. So this one here, I'm going to add on my little flower border, my photo, and like I said, just a little bit of liquid glue around to make sure all the pieces are holding down and in place. I added a little bit of foam underneath some of the leaves on this layout if they were laser cut leaves. And that was just to, give a little bit of dimension to go with the chipboard piece that I'm going to place at the top. And that kind of helps in the album to keep my album more level. If I make sure and add a little bit of play foam or chipboard or something around the layout in different places, then it helps it not, get bend funny in the layout or in the album when it presses against another layout in the album. Hopefully that made sense. So here, I think I'm almost done. I'm going to add a couple more of these little reddish color leaves, and I already added the title. Oh, I'm going to bring in a couple more of those little stamps. And again, I don't want the always, and I just kept the lovely there. The lovely's on the blue one, I believe, and the always is on the red colored one, or the other way around. Either way. You'll see them in the close-ups. You'll see I'm pretty sure you can see lovely on the blue word. So here's your close-ups, and hopefully you guys enjoyed all these Easter layouts I've shared this month. I have a few more before we get to Easter, and I have a few more layouts to post for the rest of the week. Thanks, guys. Bye.